What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? Make sure you got your masks on because we got some news coming out.
Yeah, you don't have to wear your mask just to watch the show, but general, just wear your mask or the sunglasses because that's always important inside.
Yeah, I got a bunch of bright lights shooting on me here. So we're live on Facebook and on YouTube on the Fighting News channel. Here with Mikey Mike and the Funky Bunch.
That's
What are you? So we got a bunch of videos went viral today, Mike.
Yep.
What is all this about?
Yeah, I mean, I made a follow-up video, so that it actually been processed, so it should be uploaded any second. But yeah, so the deal is this, guys. So I broke some news the other day, and apparently it spread like wildfire. We had a few dozen people repost the video from our site, and then a lot of those people happen to have lots of followers, and it just spread like crazy. So it went viral. And the whole point is that the news was that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is coming out of retirement and he's going to be fighting Logan Paul. It's something that I found out about, something that I shared. I got a little backlash for it because I was told it wasn't something I should have really told everybody just yet. They weren't ready to unveil it. But I did say it, and I've apologized to my friend about having said something and getting him in a little bit of trouble. So I'm sure he's a big boy. He'll be all right. But that having been said, yeah, this is real. I know I've looked at a lot of comments that have come up. I've only been able to see, a few here, a few there. I haven't seen everything, but what I have seen, people, they disbelieve it. They don't think it's real. They think it's just a rumor, so forth and so on. But, it is true. I know for sure it is. And not only is it true,
What's
but I've
up,
also got a
Melissa?
little bit more information on it as well. And I don't have a set date, but I have a roundabout time. We're looking at about the holidays. So you're looking at 2.5 months or so out that this fight's going to take place. Plenty of time for these guys to get themselves in shape, get themselves ready and prepared, and actually make this happen. Logan Paul, he walks around at 6'2" and like 220, somewhere around there. Mayweather's 5'8", walks around about a buck 70. There's a huge 50-pound disparity there between them. There's also a 6-inch differential there. There's a lot going on. And I see, Melissa, you're commenting on it already. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right here. That's what you're hearing about. Mayweather and Logan Paul. So, yeah, guys, I don't know, what their catch weight's going to be. It's probably going to be somewhere in the 180 range, I would best guess. Maybe toward the mid-range of that if Logan Paul can get there. I know when he fought KSI, he couldn't get, or he tried and desperately was having a hard time trying to get below that 200-pound weight limit to fight at cruiserweight. But I think this time around, he'll have better preparation. He'll have a better dietitian. He'll be on a good nutritionist. Whatever it is he's going to have, he'll have a team behind him that's going to help him out and get him where he needs to be.
So how'd you find out about it?
Yeah, it's a somebody that I know. He's a reliable source. He has people that are close to the situation, and I don't want to give up any names. I don't want to get anybody else in trouble because, like I said, my phone was blown up this morning, and people were none too happy with me about having said this. And I suppose the camp's not being able to go ahead and unveil it on their own terms. And now it's everywhere, so it's already been unveiled. And as far as the date, I don't have a specific date. Even if I did, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but I am telling you to give you a little more information. It's going to be, holiday time. So look for that Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas time, probably.
So what's the new news? What's the new news?
That's it. That's the new news, is that we have a set time frame for when it will be, which is going to be late November to early December, which gives them the time to prepare. So I've seen comments, I haven't seen too many of them, and I know a lot of people have posted, and there's been, at this point, millions of comments between all the sites that have posted it. Look, you can believe me. You don't have to believe me. It really doesn't make much of a difference what you do. But yes, this is true, and this is going to happen. And so, like I had been saying, thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Gerardo. As I've been saying, look, I have no ill will towards Logan Paul, okay, nor KSI, which is the name of the guy I couldn't think of at the time. What my point was when I said nobodies, because people were really pushing on underlining that nobody thing. Look, I'm a boxing analyst. I'm a boxing historian. I take this sport very seriously. I've been around it for a very long time. I know a lot of fighters. I've seen a lot of these guys have great amateur careers. Really try to do as much as they possibly can. I've seen them go pro. I've seen them do well and have great records. They never get to the chance to have that great caliber of a fight that they've always looked forward to having. And they've struggled and they've worked so hard to get there. And you got somebody who's a YouTube sensation that isn't a boxer. He's not around the sport. He hasn't put that work in. And he's going to step in and try to get a big payday and that whole fan base. Again, no ill will towards him. Look, if somebody said they wanted to pay me $2 million to fight Mayweather, I'd do it. I know that
Two, he's going to make 10.
I'm saying, if they offered me a couple $1 million to do it, I'd do it. But look, I know I'm not going to beat that man. There's no question about that, And I'm sure a lot of people are going to comment, as I said on the other thing, people are going to comment about, my capabilities and tell me, whatever you want to say. I really don't give a shit. But the point is, look, Logan wants to make a few bucks, great. Mayweather wants to make a few bucks, great. Not standing in the way. I've met Logan and Jake, Steve, you've met them too. And they're not, they're not bad guys. I got no issues with them. This guy, KSI, whatever. I don't even know him. I've never met him. But I can tell you that the Logan Paul KSI fight, it wasn't like a real fight. These guys didn't look like they were going to, make a long professional career out of this. This was just, something to bring the fans in, bring them together.
Do you think, let me ask you something, Mike, do you think that this is all derived from the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. Exhibition fight that has gotten more press than any other fight that we know of going on right now?
Yeah, I don't think it's derived necessarily from that. I think this kind of stands on its own. Mayweather said late last year that he did intend to fight in 2020. The pandemic slowed that down for him, but he's still trying to be a man of his word and try to do it. We knew that when Mayweather was going to fight, he wasn't actually going to come out of retirement and probably really fight somebody at the top of his game like Errol Spence or anybody to try to take those belts in that division. He was going to fight something that was going to be somewhat of a showcase fight just for the fans to see, so forth and so on. And not taking anything away from Mayweather, but he hasn't fought anybody in a few years now. He's fought Conor McGregor.
Other than Conor McGregor.
No, including Conor McGregor.
Who he actually lost a few rounds. More than one, more than two, more than three, more than four. Some analysts had him first 5 rounds losing.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the fuck they were looking at, but the point is that he fought Conor McGregor, who's not a boxer. He fought. There was a guy in Japan that he fought. That obviously wasn't really a boxer. And who else did he fight? Didn't he fight some other fight? Am I missing something? I even forgot what it was. I don't know. But whatever it is, he's not looking to fight to actually fight. He's looking to fight, to make a few bucks. That's great. He's marketable. He can make his name into something. He has made his name into something. Why not, cash in a few $1 million on an easy fight? So with Logan Paul, I'm not going to retract what I said. It's going to be an easy fight for Mayweather. Logan Paul is going to come in with that height advantage, that reach advantage, that even that weight advantage the day of the fight. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
He's not a professional boxer. That's not his thing. Mayweather's been in this game for the longest time. He's a generational boxer. He's been around gyms for forever. His whole life. Trained by his uncle, the late Roger Mayweather. Originally trained by his father, who was a professional boxer as well. He's always been around the game. He knows this stuff inside and out. He's one of the best defensive lines we've ever seen in our life. Logan's going to miss again. Not to say he's not going to be able to find him, maybe tag him and make himself look good and get the oohs and the ahs of the crowd. Then again, Mayweather may want it that way. I don't think Mayweather's going to try to get in there and knock the guy out in 5 seconds. I think he's trying to make a show out of it, and prove that he still has that marketability so that he can go on and fight the next guy.
Yeah, we broke the news that Conor McGregor was going to fight Mayweather a long time ago, and to tell you the truth, nobody thought that fight would actually happen because they were talking about it for quite some time. They were talking about it for at least a year. And
Yeah.
it came to fruition, and they both made like $100 million.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Floyd much more than Connor, but yes, it was a lot of money in that. But it's just like when Floyd fought Pacquiao, and that was 5 years in the making. When they originally talked about it, it wasn't a fight that really excited me because those two guys against each other, wasn't the best fight to make at the time. And they started dragging it out for 5 years. It was even less interesting when they finally went ahead and did it. And I'm not going to say the fight was bad. The fight was a good fight. Was the fight a $500 million fight? No, it was not. There were other fights on within the same week span that did much better, that looked much better
yeah.
than that fight. So
I remember Mayweather. Who was at the fight for the Bay fight? Remember Mickey Bay? Was that Roger Mayweather?
who was it? That fight? Was it that fight?
Yeah,
Where Floyd Senior and
Floyd Senior. So Floyd Senior. I asked him. I said, will we ever see your son and Conor McGregor? And he said something like, "Is that guy like Ray Charles? Even Ray Charles can see it. My son will kill him."
Right.
Yeah, that was funny. But that fight happened. I did not think that fight would happen. And I still don't think this Mike Tyson fight will happen. Actually,
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think that fight will happen. But I see Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. in the mix a lot. Something to talk about, just
Well, I mean, hey, look, they say it's going to happen. They pushed it back a little, still with the COVID and some other things going on. Right now, they got a date in November. We'll see as it approaches November. If the pandemic is a little bit better and they still decide they're not going to do it by then I'll believe that maybe it's not happening. But right now, I still feel like it's happening.
yeah.
I still feel like it's coming. They're just trying to build up the hype just a little bit more because I think they're not getting the kind of response that they're looking for. They were hoping that this would be like a really big mega fight, but I guess some people aren't as interested. I am interested. I would like to see that. That's actually a fight I'm interested in seeing, even more so than Mayweather, Logan Paul. Because you got two real fighters that were at the top of their game that they never had the fight they were supposed to have back in the day, and now they finally have the opportunity to at least have a fight similar to what they would have done. We could finally see what we've been waiting for 30 years. 23 years.
One of my friends mentioned something about. Do you remember the last fight Joe Robinson fought?
Joe Robinson?
Yeah,
Who are we talking
Joe. That's a good question.
Sugar Ray Robinson or Joe Lewis, or who are you trying to say?
I think did Joe Lewis's last fight was against the Bear. There was a famous boxer, and his last fight was against the Bear.
I know there was a fighter that did something fighting a bear. I wasn't that. I want to say that was. No, I thought that was. God, what the hell is his name? I can't even think of it.
He was a legend. He was a legend boxer.
Wasn't it the guy from back in maybe like the 30s we're talking about? That guy
Joe Lewis.
What's his name, man? Russell Crowe played him in the movie. What's his name? Who fought Max Bear, the fighter, and then fought Real Bear.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. That's Joe something. It was Joe something. But yeah, whatever. He was saying. Oh man, I wish I could remember the boxer's name. But he was like, yeah, that's what he was known for. He had a famous boxing career, and then everyone knows him for the guy that fought the Bear.
Okay.
And do these people want to go out like this? Come back for people to see what? see all you can punch. We see Mike Tyson going crazy, punching the bags and stuff. It looks like he still got it, but George Foreman fought when he was 50. Do you really want to see these 50-year-olds getting punched in the face?
Well, if you got two guys over 50 years old fighting each other, I guess it's just as much risk to either one of them, right?
Yeah.
But it's still exciting all the same. Oscar De La Hoya, he's 47. He's planning on making a comeback, and he's saying he's not looking to just do exhibition matches. He's actually looking to fight, back with some of the top guys in the divisions. It may be something that's ahead. He's getting ahead of himself just a bit. Not to say he can't do it, because look, that's my favorite fighter of all time. But I think I've expressed that enough times on this show that people already know that. And he's capable. He's very capable. He's still been around the game. Sure, he's put on some weight, but he can drop some of that weight, no problem. I don't think he's gonna get back to his lighter weights of his younger days. But could he fight at middleweight? Sure he can. Who's he gonna fight? I mean, look. Julio Cesar Chavez said if De La Hoya comes back that he wants to fight him an exhibition match. That could be a great warm-up. Let's do that. If De La Hoya looks like he's got the legs and he can do it, he's got the punching power, and he can beat Chavez again handily, why not try to take on some fighters? But you got to fight some high-profile fighters that haven't quite gotten to that level of champion yet. Yeah. And then maybe you can take on some of those champs. And look, Triple G's sitting around waiting for a fight. I'd like to see Oscar De La Hoya versus Triple G, but De La Hoya's got to, baby steps. Just get there. Don't just jump in. Just get there. We're behind you. We're watching for you. I'll pull for you.
Yeah.
It would be nice, and now De La Hoya just lost his, his number one bank. There's no more Canelo Alvarez, so that was his money man right there. And without having him, he's going to lose a lot of income, so he's got to find another way to make it up. So why not? Why not try to come out yourself and do something to make yourself some money?
Yeah.
And I think Shane Mosley should be right behind him. I don't think they're affiliated anymore, but somebody like that is still very capable to come out. But a fight I never saw De La Hoya have back in his career, and I always talked about having said that I wish they had done this. I would have loved to have seen De La Hoya fight Zab Judah. It was just a fight I was begging for back in the day. And Judah fought up until, almost 2 years ago, I guess it was. And I know he had that unfortunate loss against Cletus Selden, and he had the brain bleed. He could be licensed again. And if he's going to fight against like a 47-year-old and they don't think there's as much of a risk with him fighting a guy like that versus a bodybuilder like Cletus Selden, then, why not give the guy a license and let's see a fight like that? I'd like to see two guys with big names go at it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the story. We just did a great show. Anything else?
No, that's it. Add? Just to kind of recap, going back to what we're talking about with Logan Paul. So Logan and Jake, no ill will against you guys at all. No hard feelings at all. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't know if that necessarily involves professional boxing, but if you want to try to make a few bucks, great. Please just be humble about it. Don't go out and think that you're the best and you can take on the best and beat the best. But if there's money in it, do what you got to do. And as far as KSI, I'm sorry I forgot your name. It's KSI. I've been reminded a few times, although most people keep saying KS1. I don't think that's quite right. KSI, I don't know you. I don't follow you. I don't know what you do on YouTube, but I know you're a YouTuber. And I know you had that fight, and props to you for stepping up and having a professional boxing match. But again, same thing. Be humble about it. Don't go around calling yourself a professional boxer. We know that that's not true. But yeah, if I offended anybody, that really wasn't my intention. If you don't like that I'm saying you're not a professional boxer, though, it's too fucking bad because I've said it twice now. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But take care of yourselves, guys. And as far as that fight coming up, best of luck to both you guys. Just stay safe. I hope nobody gets injured. And that's it, Steve.
All right. We heard it here. Breaking news, the fighting news, always breaking news. We out.
Oh, yeah. And before you
whoa,
take off.
whoa.
I told a friend of mine that I had to say this because it was something that I had to do. It's a return favor type of thing. But apparently a lot of people are having some issues up there in New York, and they're thinking the mayor's not quite doing his job. So there's this great site you need to go check out. It's called Defund de Blasio, meaning Bill de Blasio, the mayor. Defunddeblasio.com. Check that out. Check out some of the articles of what de Blasio has been doing or not doing there in New York. Form your own opinion, but definitely check out the site and see what's happening up there in New York.
Right. And the Fighting News does not support
political affiliations. That's correct. I'm not saying one way or the other they should like the site. I'm just saying you should go to the site, just check it out, and form your own opinion. It's like turning on CNN.
We talk about fight games. If someone's getting punched in the face, that's what we cover. If someone is getting kicked in the face, we cover it. So we are all combat sports, even that slapping sport, which they say, is a sport, we cover it. So
you know what we got to start doing?
The fight game we cover.
When COVID thing is over, we have to start going back to the that axe range thing and start covering the competitive axe throwing.
Yes, we're in. I challenge Hector Lombard in a rematch.
Yeah, see? Yeah, let's get some of the fighters out there, man. That'll make for good media right there. Let's get some of the boxers. Let's take them on each other. Before you guys get in the ring or the cage with one another, let's see how good you are against axe throwing against one another.
All right. Guys, enjoy.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Stay safe.
Bye.